FIFA World Play 2007. Ricardo Isaac, Dos Santos Leite, Kaká.
When we think of Brazilian footballers, there's a certain image that comes to mind, an image that revolves around the bodacious and bold but also brave and beatific Joga Bonito-like brilliance when beating, bending, bamboozling, thus battering backlines with the ability, grace and balance their boys built on beaches in the suburbs in Brazil. That being said though, the image isn't an entirely positive one. Because along with their undeniable brilliance, Brazilian footballers have garnered the reputation over the years of not being as physically developed as the Europeans, indulging in more simulation and cheating antics, as well as not living the life of professional athletes off the pitch. Starting from the early 2000s though, the world was introduced to a Brazilian who kept all the flair and elegance associated with his roots, but simultaneously brought the size, strength, direct approach as well as fair play and professionalism you'd usually see more of in the European game. And that Brazilian was the man we know as Ricardo Kaká. And for those of you who are too young to have seen this man play, bear in mind I'm only slightly exaggerating when I say he in tandem had the size and power of Ronaldo, but the balance and movement of Messi. Just imagine that. And for a handful of years during that era, Kaká was not only the go-to man for the greatest footballing nation ever, but he was the same too for one of the greatest club sides ever, with his incredible run culminating in the Brazilian being crowned the Ballon d'Or in 2007. The year he took his club to their 7th and, to date, final European Cup. No doubt, this was the best he'd ever been in his career. The best he'd ever been in his career. The best he'd ever been in his career, but not the best the world had seen that year. Because you see, Kaká was simply unfortunate to have had his best ever season, the season he cemented his place as one of the greatest players of his generation, in the exact same season that was the breakthrough season of one of the greatest players of any generation. Because while this Europeanized Brazilian was breaking ankles and taking names across Europe, there was a European with more than a hint of Brazilians about him who was doing the same, but then also took his game a couple of notches higher in the domestic circuit. But sadly so, he was overlooked. Cristiano Ronaldo was overlooked. And this is how it happened. Here's the story of the Ballon d'Or robbery that no one speaks about.